Hello, hello, hello. This is Tom from Tom and Ruth Philippine Adventures. How is everybody? Or did you get upset? I got that. I'll just put a sticker over that back in the background. Close. Banks in the Philippines. Today I want to talk about that. I know I've talked about it many times. Power is out. But it's all okay. Everything's on solar. I got the aircon and everything over there. I just thought I'd come over here and just relax a minute because just do a video outside, guy hammering over there, building a shed. But what do you do if you have a bank in the United States and you want to get your money here? The easiest way, there's two ways, of course. You can transfer your money to a bank account here. Your fiance or girlfriend, you can transfer some money that way. It takes anywhere from 5 to 7 days, some days sooner, and it costs anywhere from $3 to $5 depending on what bank and how much the money is. It's all a lot of times done by transactions. You can't really see the mountain behind me. There's a mountain behind me, really big. You can pull out depending on what bank. It depends. Like Metro Bank, you can pull out $400 a day. BPI, you can pull out $400 a day. BDO, I've had it where I could pull out $500 a day, believe it or not, and I could do that in Manila. But here I cannot pull out $500 a day. Now my bank lets me pull out $1,000 a day. I can pull out if I need to, but it's a limit on it here. And the transaction fees depends on what bank you have. It can run anywhere from $1 to $3 to $4. Now here they charge you $5, but my bank reimburses the money, so I'm lucky that way. I don't have to pay the money that way, so reimbursed. But still, if you use Western Union, and some of those can get quite expensive, Zoom and all of them, they say, well, the charge is only $3.99 or whatever it is, compared to the $5 or $2.99. But I found that when I would send like $400 or $500 to myself, I find that the fees were $6, $7, $8, $9. And I said, why don't I just go to the bank instead of going through all the hassles, send the money and all that stuff and criteria? So I would just go to the bank, use my debit card, and get the money that way. And if my bank happens to be down, make sure you have some other type of bank. And what I mean by that, because sometimes they do maintenance and things like that, and they systems offline. I don't know why. It's just Wells Fargo. And it happened to me probably 2 times in 5 years. But it's really not a big deal. You go back the next day. But and you can actually, banking here in the Philippines, you can open up a bank, but the criteria has changed. Depends on where you're going to open up the bank. It depends what area you're going to open the bank account. Now, in some areas, they say you have to have an ACR card or a permanent resident in order to open up a bank. You still have to have an ACR card. As far as the permanent resident, it depends on where the bank is. It depends on the branch manager, and it depends on all that above. Sometimes you can go in and open up a bank with an ACR card that's not permanent. You're a tourist visa. It's been done, yes. It's been done recently, yes. You can still do it, yes, in my area. Now, all the other areas, I have no idea because I just inquired about it. My wife has a bank account, and so we use her account if we need to do anything of that nature. We've actually only used her account one time. It's easier. I just go down to the bank and pull it out. And you can use these off-brand branches, and what I mean by that is we use One Network Bank, and we use Philippines National Bank, and I've used BDO, I've used BPI, I've used what is the other one I used? RCBC. I've used those, and the fees are always around $5 fees, and that's okay. You just have to be prepared for it. It's $5 fees. Now, what my bank does, since it's international, they'll say, okay, they charge me at the bank, and then my after it goes processed, because sometimes it takes a day or two to process it, international, and they'll just credit my account $5 back, like 5 days from now or 7 days from now. We have to do 2 transactions because they would only let us pull out, a lot of cases, 10,000 peso per transaction, which is $200, which is fine, but you can pull out 2 transactions per day. Now, the Metro Bank lady told me if you wanted more, you can actually go inside and give them your card, and you can actually go inside and actually get money. For an example, say you needed more than $500. Say you needed $1,000 really quick for whatever reason, and you needed to get it really quick. You go in, and they will get that money for you. They just pull to the limit of your card. So if your card has a limit of 1,000 or 2,000 or 5,000. Now, mine have a limit of 1,000 per transaction. Now, if I needed more than that, all I have to do is notify my bank, because there's times where I needed, when I bought this house, I needed $3,000, and they just said, okay, so they just, the bank gave me the money. I did transfer money one time through Western Union, and it worked pretty good. But the problem with Western Union, the fee for a bank transfer is supposed to be like $5, but they want to charge me $14. So what I did was I said, no, I'm not going to use Western Union anymore, and I stopped using them completely. I ended up using Zoom. It's a PayPal service, and it charged me $3, something like that. I don't remember. It wasn't much. I was actually surprised. Now, you can use PayPal here. You can. There are instances where you can actually, if you have a PayPal credit card, you can use PayPal here. And it is accepted in some facilities, but not all. I don't use my credit card anywhere but the bank. I don't go charging anything on my credit card other than Lazada or something like that, or Amazon or eBay. But I don't use my credit card. A lot of people are not familiar, especially out in the province, using a credit card. So you can find yourself in a situation where they charge your card 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times on the same thing. You're just not aware of using a card. A lot of people don't have a card. Cards have really just become more prevalent here where we're at, probably in the last, I would say, 6, 8 months, a year. And that really matters also, because the girls don't even know how to key it in. They don't know what buttons to push and all that, so they have to have the management help. And sometimes management does not know. So you have to really be careful with some of that. My buddy had 6 transactions on a $20 sale, and he didn't even know it. He didn't even check it. He doesn't even check his thing. He just happened to see it one day when he was online. He doesn't even have a laptop. I don't even know how he even knows how much money he has in the bank. Me, I already know. Man, I pull out the money, and I go check the bank that minute to make sure it pulled out and everything was fine, and I didn't get no added fees and this, that, and other. I mean, I check my bank all the time. It's just become habit with me. I've always done that all my life. And thank goodness I have, because as you know, paychecks don't get deposited like they're supposed to, or a problem with that, and I've had that happen. I don't know why, but it's happened to me. Even a billion-dollar company I worked for at one time, you would think it would be okay, but no, even deposits for them would be, sorry, you're not going to get your checks until Monday, that you've been getting them all along for 10 years this way. Why? Well, we got problems with it. We're changing payroll companies, and we're doing it this way. So you can use your credit card here, especially at TGI Fridays and some of those places like that. I wouldn't recommend it a lot of times. Not saying they have skimmers or anything like that, but sometimes they are getting up to date on a lot of that stuff. They may have tools to do that. So I say, if you're coming to the Philippines, bring your credit cards. I kept mine in U.S. because I wanted to be in U.S. I didn't want to open up an account. And what if? What if? I'm always one of those guys. I'm prepared. Well, as you know, I have water. I have solar, so power out, no worries. I mean, I'm running solar and charging my phone at the same time, and I'm talking to you, and I can download this on the internet at the same time. And fans. I have a fan. I can turn on the fan right there if I get too hot. But it's actually pleasant today. But so the reason why I'm telling about this, because banks in the Philippines is a question. But that and how much money you live on, how much banks in the Philippines, what kind of how much money can I live if I live in this area and things like that. Where to live. I get a lot of questions. Where to live? I want to live in cooler temperatures. I did a video just about 10 minutes ago of one, where to live here in the Philippines, and the top places to live, top 10 places to live, not in any particular order, but I will publish that so everybody can have an idea about that. But today I just want to talk about and give people an idea on the banks and give them an idea on what to expect with the banks. Now, banks, you make sure that if you do open up a bank, make sure you open up in a national branch. Don't do a little town bank, because there's not no little town banks everywhere you go. If you're going to open a BPI, BDL, RCBC, even Land Bank in some cases are around, but they're not in every location. Now, you'll find there are a few banks here from U.S., but they're really for corporate accounts like AT&T, Nike, where they have a lot of the call centers here, Toyota, Ford. They really use those for those. They don't. They really, it's just a office front and things like that to do the payroll and things like that. So that's really about it. I want to thank everybody, and thank everybody for watching. Please subscribe and hit like.